So welcome back, guys. We just entered the fire vellumental cave, as it says right there, right on cue at the bottom of the screen. Admittedly, I have walked forward a bit just to save so that I could close my game last night. But this was a little puzzle. We already solved it, because for some reason in this game they like to put the save block after the first little dangerous puzzle thing. So we're gonna go through this dungeon, hopefully finish it pretty fast. I still don't know where the fourth eye for those big towers are. I'm hoping that this has it, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so it looks like there's tiny paper mache guys now, and they're all running into here. Maybe we gotta knock them over? Oh, jeez. Okay, we just gotta avoid. We gotta take them out. Okay, I see. Easy peasy. Alright, that was nice and simple. All you had to do was walk behind them and just hit them while they had the fire over their head. Let's move on to the next room. Oh. Oh, I thought that was a heart upgrade. So a save block already. That means to me that this next room might be pretty dangerous. I wonder if we're already to the boss. I mean, I've gotten through... No, it's just another one of these. I was gonna say I've only gone through like 4 rooms. So I guess we just gotta do this again, but with more people. Alright, so that was pretty easy. I do like how they mix up like normal battles with these tiny little paper mache guys where it's... You have to take them out, but you don't have to like initiate a full-on battle. I think it really makes these interactions a lot more pleasant. Alright, so it looks like we're coming up to the boss room now. Alright, it's time to take on this fire vellumental. So I'm here editing the video, and it seems like I didn't commentate over this boss fight at all, which is kind of sad because I think this was a really cool boss fight and used a lot of mechanics, and it used like the different vellumental powers. So I just wanted to talk over this boss fight a little and put some gameplay over the background that kind of shows a little bit of these mechanics being shown off. But it's really cool because this boss fight, you have to jump onto it with iron boots. And every time you jump onto him with iron boots, you knock some feathers off of him. And these feathers fall onto random spots, which is a common thing during these boss fights where the boss will often do something to affect spots all across the board. So either you can't go there, or it'll move you, or it'll take away anything that's on that spot, something like that. So what these feathers do is every time you walk over them, I think you take 4 or 8 damage, one or the other, I can't remember. And then the feathers can also stack on the spots. So I think the most I saw during this was maybe 4 or 5. So every time you damage the boss, it drops these feathers, and then for its move, it'll hit you away, and then it'll also throw feathers all over the board. And every time it loses these feathers, it loses health. So what you do is you do as much damage as you can, take off as much or as many of the feathers as you can, and then you have to use the water vellumental to just completely, I guess, wipe the board with water, and you just make this huge wave that goes over everything, and it burns out all of the feathers, and that's how you keep the boss from gaining all of its health back. I don't think it ever happened to me where he regained all of his health, but I'm sure it's something that can happen. Either that, or the whole time you're dealing with all of these feathers, and it eventually becomes impossible to do an attack without taking upwards of 50 damage or something. So yeah, I thought this boss fight was really cool. Really like the mechanics. I really like what this game is bringing to the table in terms of boss fights, because there's the whole ring mechanic where you can spin each spot and you like line up the moves. And I also learned during this boss fight that you can also slide them, which is something that I didn't even think of during boss fights, and something that would have helped a lot previously. But yeah, I think this game is really bringing a lot to the table in terms of boss fights, since each boss has its own mechanics, and you use mechanics from different bosses in each fight, which is really cool, like through the vellumental powers. And then also the boss has like these different things that get rid of spots. I don't know. overall, I just think it's really cool. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Let's get on with the rest of the video. This time, for real, it's time to beat the shit out of this bird. Alright, for a second I was like, why did the arms not do anything? And then I didn't see that we were supposed to grab again. But, okay, finally beat that bird. Essentially twice. So, glad we're done with that. Let's see if we get the eye for the last tower from it, or if we still have to find that. Alright, now we see that Olivia is learning how to become a fire vellumental. And now we can take this to light up those pots of oil that were at the top of those towers earlier. Alright, and now we get to return back to the Professor Toad, and we head out of the temple. Well, we're back out into the desert, and we still don't have the third eye, or the fourth eye for that tower. So I guess we're gonna have to check these notes and see if we can figure out where it's at. Alright, so I was just driving around, and we came over to the east minor side of the desert, and I just found these fireplaces. I think maybe one of these might be where we find it. This just gave us a lot of coins, so it's strengthening my theory. There's another one over here to the right side. Let's check out if this one actually has it, or if we're wasting our time. Yep, here it is. Alright, cool. So just driving around a bunch helped out, and we found this. So now we can go into each of the towers and light them up and put the little gem in the eye of the last one. Alright, let's see how Olivia fits as a dragon in this tiny ass room. Let's see what happens when we light this up. I assume that... oh wow, she's just really small. I assume this is just going to shine a light onto the top of the temple. Yep, here it is. So that's one more light, so we got 2 out of 4 done. Let's head over to the other 2 and get this temple open. Alright, and there's the 4th one. Time to head over here and use the Earth Vellumental platform to raise this thing out of the ground. That makes 0 sense at all. Why just lifting her arms like that makes the whole thing come out of the ground. But we'll roll with it. Hopefully this temple is nice and quick and we can get on to the next streamer. I'm curious as to which boss we're gonna have to fight this time. A mummy? Is that a mummy maybe? Some mummy Goombas. I assume this is just like the normal paper mache Goombas, so this isn't really going to be anything too tough. Alright, so they took 1 extra hit compared to normal ones, so not really a challenge at all. Okay, so it's a faceless toad? What is the point of this? Is it a zombie? No, it looks like it's still friendly and we just have to find its face. Okay, this is probably referring to how the sun is cut out from the sky. So whatever boss we're coming up against probably just cuts out. Okay, so we're coming up against scissors because it just cuts things out. All right. Another faceless toad. Okay, so there's a lot of toads in here that don't have faces. More faceless toads. And they're just like hanging here. Holy shit, that's a lot of them. Alright, so we've been collecting discs while we've been walking through this temple. It looks like this is where we're taking them. I originally thought that we'd be taking them back to the hotel and giving them to the Shy Guy DJ, but I think this is it. Oh, I see. This is where the streamer is. Okay, so this... No, the streamer just wraps around and goes through that door. So it looks like we're probably getting close to the final boss. Okay, so there's 4 music discs that we have to get for this guy. We've picked up It looks like only 2. So we need to find 2 more somewhere around this temple. Alright, so there's the 3rd disc just sitting here on top of this coffin. And right there's the 4th disc, so not very far to go, but I'm suspecting there's probably going to be a forced fight right up here. Okay, so it looks like we have to try something different. I saw this button on the wall. Taking us back to this room, I don't think this is really useful at all. Let's just try using a hammer on this instead. Yeah, because that totally makes sense. I don't know why they made us use arms instead of just giving us... like, when we hit the hammer, why wouldn't it just drop the CD? Alright, so we got the stapler or whatever, the scissors, whoever's in there, to start dancing. But he wants more toads on the dance floor, so now we need to go around and collect 40 of these faceless toads. I don't even know... Unless those toads in the spiderweb can get out, I don't even know how we're gonna get 40. That seems like a ton. Yeah, they're all dancing. It looks like we have to try to figure out a way to get them all out. There were some coffins on the other side that I couldn't push, and it said that I didn't have enough strength. So maybe we gotta gather a bunch of toads and then go over to those coffins, and they can help us push them. Yeah, so exactly what I thought would happen happens. Not exactly sure how this is gonna help us get all those toads down on the spiderweb, though. Are you serious? It was just a random one of these? Why? Every other one forced you into a fight that took forever. But now you just gotta get lucky and walk into a random coffin. A hole puncher. Really? I mean, it makes sense because they're all perfectly cut circles, but... okay. Bro, just gave Mario like permanent brain damage. Oh, nice, okay. I think this is the big opportunity to use the arms and then take him out. Alright, that's the end of that boss. That one wasn't that bad. There wasn't really any mechanics that would just like straight up kill you, which I really liked, but it was, if you would mess up certain turns, it would really punish you. You know what I just realized? I think that all these toads are toads that were supposed to live in Shroom Town or whatever, Shroom City, whatever that desert city is, and I think they're just all in here, and they've been stuck in here like forever because of that stupid hole puncher. And that's 3 out of 5 done. Shouldn't everyone be blind from that? It's literally the sun just flashed everyone. Oh, secret treasure. What could that be? Perhaps it's the path to the next streamer? But I think the next streamer is on the boat that we saw, or that we got on with Bob-omb. Alright, well, let's go to the Sun Altar and see what's going on there, and then we will end this episode there. Alright, let's check out the inside of this. I did not mean to read this. Alright, let's go inside. Alright, so we found a underground freezer? Why are there so many freezers in here? Alright, let's use this Earth Vellumental to melt this ice and save Mr. Important Toad over here and see what this guy's gonna give us. We better get a good reward for this. I ain't do this shit for cheap. Alright, so this Toad wants to get back to the Merino, which was at the museum in Toad Town. So I guess that's the next place we're gonna have to go. Well, that's where we're gonna end it here. I think that Toad that we just saved is gonna help us get to the next streamer. I think that he's gonna take that submarine out to sea and we're gonna use it to get to the next streamer. Or we will just end up taking the boat that we took earlier to go out to the next streamer. So, either way, I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the episodes, and drop me a like, hit that red subscribe button below, and I'll catch you later.